For many Malaysians, when you mention mineral drinking water, the first thing that comes to mind is Spritzer. That's just how iconic the brand is in Malaysia. So today I'm really thrilled to be joined by the person behind the tremendous growth and success of Spritzer over the past decade, Mr. Kenny Lim, CEO of Spritzer. Thank you so much for joining me on this talk show today.
Hello, Cynthia.
Well, Kenny, you have been a Vistage member since 2007 and recently awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Now, I want to start with going back to the beginning. Spritzer is a family business founded by your father in 1989. I wonder, growing up, did you always have that feeling that eventually you will carry on the business, the legacy, or was it something that developed over time?
Actually, it's not planned. I was called back from the States. So one day my dad called and said, come back. And I said, okay. So come back, started as a van sales in the company. Then I move up to sales, to marketing, then to the GM. Then finally he has some confidence. So I was put the CEO role.
I like that you say some confidence.
Yeah.
So your father is still in the business, but day to day you're the person that's running the ship.
Right, he's still in the company. Yeah, he's still in organizations, but it's more like a consultant right now. Mm-hmm. So we run the shows.
Now, over the past decade since you become CEO, under your leadership, Spritzer grew to become the largest bottled water company in Malaysia and even expanded globally. What do you think are the key factors that contributed to your success?
We can put this into a few contexts. One, it's the branding exercise that we have continuing invest. The other one is, of course, the team that we have. Across the organizations, we have really good team members who have sacrificed all their day and night just to make sure the product is superb. And of course, the third context is the trust and confidence from the consumer that all these three, 1 + 1, 1 + 1 + 1, then that's how the result comes out.
But being the leading water bottle company is no easy feat. So I wonder, when you started 10 years ago and you stepped into the role and saw that this is such a big brand, but how did you take it to the next level? What was missing then and what did you do over the years?
The social media and the flow of information versus my father's time, it's very different. So in the past, you only have 3 TV channels, a few radio stations, right? And now you have so many information for us to carry out to the consumer. And consumer is getting more demand and more smart. It's definitely smarter right now. And they will research on the brand, the quality, the products. So that is one push from the brand to go to the next level. So it's really just time.
So you did implement quite a lot of changes, innovation to Spritzer when you took over. I wonder, how was it to balance, the innovation part, introducing new things to a company so strong in family legacy?
Yeah, so that's the fun part, right? So every time when I go out, we see new things. When we see new things and bring back to the office, these new things a lot of the time will take a long time to implement because we just get used to the old ways, right? The challenge here is how do we convince the existing team member that the new thing may not be good, but let's try, even if it fails, no problem, let's do it. So the mindset is always try new things. So actually a lot of the people in the company don't really like me so much because they have never stopped projects. We have, until today, we still have so much projects that we're still on hand. We're trying to turn all the factories into 4.0. We are trying also to be carbon neutral. We are trying to ESG aspect to make sure we comply with all the requirements by not just the Busa.
Well, on that note, of course, as a water bottle company, Spritzer is no stranger to concerns about plastic use and plastic waste. So if you can get into some of the things that you're doing to ensure that the sustainability aspect to what you're doing and that is real, it's just not talk.
We implement recycled plastics in the new Spritzer bottles. We also implement a lot of the measurement that we are trying to reduce energy use, increase solar, manage waste, partner with the recycling facility. How do we make sure we don't always come on the radar that the plastic it's not good?
Can we talk a bit more on the personal side, having run the business for 10 years now? What would you say has been the biggest setback that you have faced or challenge during your tenure as a leader?
Yeah, not the 10 years, it's every day. So,
okay.
Every day.
What keeps you up at night? Let's talk about that at this point in time.
So every day we are not competing with the outside brands. We are competing with ourselves. All right, because Malaysia is very small. Right. And even if we hold majority market share, it means very little to us, right? So we want to expand and expand and expand. So that's the everyday thinking.
And when you talk about expansion, you mentioned, of course, Malaysia is a limited number of population. So you have expanded globally. China was one of the key markets that you went into. Talk to us about that. When you talk about wanting to do more, achieve more, what does that mean to you?
China is a setback for us right now. We are not doing very, very good. But it's definitely one country that if you want to do business, you must be in. Because the population size there is just tremendous. The information, the cultural, the product innovations in China just rapidly change 3 to 6 months to 9 months. And we learn a lot of things from China. And we can take it back and implement in Malaysia as well. So it's not just a one-way, try to sell into China, but of course, main objective is to sell into China, but at the same time, we can learn something back and implement in Malaysia.
So right now is that learning experience as you try to break into the market.
Right.
What do you think is so difficult with China, expanding there?
China is a very brand-orientated. They need a lot of consistently exposures of a brand. Then when people buy into your brand, then you need a lot of investment, right? So it's chicken or egg. You want to have a very big chunk of investment into marketing, branding, and hopes that your product sells, or you try to go in and see if your product starts to sell, then you invest. So we are now we are still trying to figure it out right now.
Okay.
Right.
So apart from China, what are other areas or verticals is Spritzer expanding in?
This year we are in Singapore. We just started a new strategy in Singapore this year. And Hong Kong, it's somewhere we are trying to develop as well. UK is another place that we are trying to develop as well. Netherlands is also one. We are going to countries where they understand the difference between natural mineral water versus a distilled or reverse osmosis water. Because if a country don't understand the different types of it, you don't create value. So when people just see any water, it's one water, you cannot sell.
All right. Well, let's talk about that, because for the average consumer, they go to the shop, they see the brand, and they see the price. That's really about it. What is it about Spritzer that sets it apart from other of your competitors, and what's unique about it?
We have a very, very high trace mineral called silica. I drink from young, and the silica It's supposed to helps you to have stronger nail, synthesize collagen inside your body. So, yeah,
So you're the perfect walking example of drinking good water since young.
yeah, right. I don't know, maybe.
Okay. So what's unique about the brand? Now, what do many people not know about Spritzer?
The silica, it's one thing that we are trying to communicate to the consumer. So, as of this moment, if you go out to the Malaysia malls or outside, you will see a lot of the story about Spritzer silica.
I think one thing I found interesting while reading up before this interview about Spritzer is you are trying to minimize your environmental impact, protecting rainforests while meeting consumer demands. Can you talk to us more about the things that we do not see behind the scene, the things that you're doing to ensure that you're sustainable?
We are acquiring more land bank. We are planting more trees. We virtually don't allow anyone to come to our site and destroy the environment.
As a CEO, I imagine striking that balance, investing in growth, and also maintaining a healthy balance sheet. That must be a delicate balancing act for you. I do wonder your thoughts about investing in growth, technology, and things like you just said. Just making sure that the business is sustainable, not just on the balance sheet, but also on the environmental aspect.
It's tough because one end we have to make sure the share price, the profit is there, so that our shareholder is happy. One part by investing in a lot of these technologies, sometimes the yield may not come immediately.
Correct.
So it's a balance we have to play. But one thing that our board is very focused on is the sustainability aspect first. So for the last 2-3 years, there's 17 goals from the
ESG? Sustainability goals, the UN
right.
Sustainability Goals.
Yes, the 17 goals. So we picked up a few that we must be there.
Okay.
So for the last 2-3 years, we just focus on the last few.
Well, having the board's buy-in is definitely crucial for growth. I do wonder, have you encountered or talk to us about times where you face setback, and disagreement? How do you overcome that?
So options. Whenever we come to the round table, we provide options. So this is option A, this is option B. So if the board's not happy with what options, then we talk about, all right, can we have option C? So at least how we bring consensus.
Right. And what about family consensus? Because at the end of it all, it is still a family business.
Very lucky. The family that we have, it's very rational. So a lot of us do what we do. It's all based on growth. We understand where we have to go. We talk about this is where we want to go, whereby when, within the family.
Right.
Then we execute the plan. And when we have setback, we come back round table. This is something that we are not doing well, and each of us give feedbacks, and then we go out and execute again.
I do wonder, how do you strike that balance? Is there separation of work and personal, being in the family business? What goes on during the dinner conversations? How do you? I think what I'm trying to get at, how do you step back, and just relax and re-energize and find inspiration?
A lot of time I have questions from people that I just met, right? How do you manage with all your family members who are in the business, right? I actually have very close relationship with the cousins. So there's only a few of us, and my brothers and cousins, and we are like brothers. So we go everywhere together. We have, we drinks together, we eat together, we talk about things together. Since young, we have been like this.
Okay. So it just comes naturally then. You guys are a group. And what about your father? What do you think are some of the greatest lessons that you have learned from him as a business person?
One thing that I always learn from my father is observation first, then provide options. I just told you that.
Yeah.
Right? Observation first, provide options. So that's the wisdom that I received from my father.
Okay, well, that's very good wisdom. Okay, I do want to talk about your experience with Vistage. You have been a member for 16 years, even before you became CEO. Can you talk to us about that relationship that you have with Vistage and how it has shaped you to become who you are today?
First, I'd like to thank my cousin, who is the one that introduced me to Vistage. His name is Lim Seng Lee, all right? For the first 2 years, I was in a key group, maybe 3 years or 4 in a key group. That's where I learned a lot of soft skills, right? Because during the group meetings, we have different types of managers who are from different industry. And a lot of time, the chair will host resource speakers and come in and share with us about what's happening. You know, this is what this company is doing, B company is doing, C company is doing. So as time goes by, I kind of like, okay, this is what. So that helps me to bring back some of the learnings into the organizations.
16 years is a long time. And what are some of the biggest lessons that you have learned or advice that you have received from your mentors or your chairs or even just members?
2 contacts from the members, because I'm in the group for too long, so we treat everyone like brother, right, and sisters, right? So when we have something that I cannot process, so I go to the group and say, you know what, I think I have this problem. Okay, they will try to tell me, are you sure this is the challenge? You know, have you validated A, B, C, D, E, F, G? So it's one good platform for me to see and think what they have shared with me. Does it make sense? You know, even though they are from concrete, they are from services. Yeah, okay, all right. So that's one thing. As for the chair, after the groups, then I'll go back to the chair, and you know, this is what I've gathered from the groups, and then I have one-to-one with the chair, and then the chair will make sure that my current chair here, it's very detailed. You know, he just makes sure, okay, you have this, you have to finish, you have to do this, you have to do that. Keep check and balance.
Like a good sounding board, I guess, because the CEOs obviously it's hard to discuss important information with other people. So you have placed most of your key management people in Vistage to be members. Why is that important?
That's because I learned from Vistage that the importance of having a group from different type of industry, and you have a chair to guide you, right? Because a lot of the time, the key management, they don't want to come to me all the time and reflect that, you know, these are the things that he or she is not happy with department A, B, C, D. But through the programs, right, when they have their team and the chair, and then, you know, they will learn some tricks, right? How to come back, internally resolve, and how internally they can push new things together. So that's how I learned. So it's important that the people in the current organizations also go out and learn something from the other organizations. Right.
Just one final question. I do wonder how, as you talked about market share a bit earlier, you know, as a measurement of the company's performance, but personally, how do you define success? What is your metrics?
80% will be a good number.
That's the market share.
Yeah, but now we are at only 40, so right. So yeah, still a long way to go.
That 40%.
Yeah,
that's your target.
The other 40%.
Do you have a timeline for that, or is this to say?
Timeline we have. But if I tell you now, my sales is my people is gonna be very.
They're not gonna be very happy.
Yeah, they're not gonna be very happy with me.
Okay. What about personally? What for you? What is success for you?
I think the success for me is very much on a team that I have right now, where I also actually enroll all my key heads into Vistage program.
Okay.
And I think that's a success I feel I have, because at my current role, it's only thinking about what's going to happen next for the organizations. I don't run day-to-day operations anymore. So they are the key people right now. So when they are good, I feel successful. So that's my success, if you ask me.
All right, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Kenny, for talking to me and sharing some of your secrets to success. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you.
Thank you.